This video is an OKX tutorial. We're going to go through the entire platform, including getting money in and out of OKX, and then how to trade crypto on here. So if you are a beginner, I'll show you exactly how to switch money into crypto, trade crypto around, use the advanced trading features to get the best and lowest trading fees, and then some other features like trading bots and everything else. It's a big video, so I'll leave timestamps below if you want to skip around to a different section. So we can come to OKX.com. I'll link the exchange down in the description. If you click that link and then go through to more, you might be able to get what they call a mystery box. It's basically a sign-up bonus. So you might be able to get a bonus when you sign up. So use that link below to see if it's available for you. Some countries it won't be available in though. We can see here as well, OKX is the #2 exchange in the world. They have $10 billion of assets, and this is proved on-chain by something called proof of reserves. So they're a big exchange, they're very well used, so that's good to know. And as you can see, funds are always backed 1-for-1 on OKX. So a big exchange that we can use. We can go to sign up, just use an email address right here, and then go through the email sign up process. Once you've signed up for an account with OKX, they are going to ask you to perform KYC. KYC is Know Your Customer. This is a passport or ID just to prove who you are. So come to your icon in the top right, click verification, and take you through to this page. I've already done mine. You should see a QR code here. You're going to have to get your phone and scan the QR code. That will take you through into a browser window, and it's going to ask you to take a photo of either your passport or ID card. It's going to verify that, and then you're going to have to take a selfie to make sure that you and the details you're giving are the same. Once you've done that, it takes like 2 minutes to verify. Then you can use all of the features on OKX. Another important thing to set up is an authenticator app. So what we can do is go to security right here. It's important to get this done. Authenticator app here. Go and download Google Authenticator on your phone. It's completely free. And then on the right-hand side, you should see an option to turn on. I've already done this, but it's going to take you through to a page. So in Google Authenticator on your phone, scan the QR code that they give you, and it sets up a 6-digit code between OKX and your phone that refreshes every 30 seconds. You can set it up so that logins and moving crypto out of the platform requires that code. And so even if your account gets hacked and they don't have that code, they won't be able to do anything. It's really important. Now, when setting up this code, they will give you a QR code that you can scan with your phone, so do that. But there's a long code underneath that as well that's like a combination of letters and numbers. Write that down and keep it somewhere safe. If the Authenticator app on your phone ever gets deleted or you lose your phone, you can just reload that same link with a different device. So keep that safe as well, but this is important for your account security. Now we'll look at buying crypto for the first time using OKX, and there's really 2 options here. The first is using a card, and the second is a bank transfer. Now, these options are going to be different depending on which currency that you're using and which country that you live in and your KYC details. So we'll go to buy crypto first, and then we'll look at third-party payment. And so obviously the KYC details that you've given have to be you. And when you're paying for crypto, all of those card details and bank details have to be the same as your KYC details. Otherwise, they're going to reject these payments. So go on buy and then choose a currency that you have. I'll just show you US dollar as an example. So USD, which crypto do you want to receive? Now, you can just go straight into the crypto that you want to buy. So if you want to buy Bitcoin, just press BTC here, and it's going to show you the best options. So if I put $100 here, I want to buy $100 of Bitcoin, you can see that the cheapest option, so the best exchange rate that we're going to get is Apple Pay, which is approximately 0.0033, BTC. Now, what you also might want to do if you want to trade futures or trade more actively or trade later is just buy a stable coin, which is a crypto version of the dollar, so US dollar Tether. If we pay 100 here, you can see same payment options, and it's going to give you an amount. So you can use Apple Pay and you receive approximately $98. So you're looking at a 2% fee here. Cards and payment like Apple and Google Pay are going to charge you between 1% and 3%, and that's on every platform. So it is a more expensive way to buy crypto, but it is convenient. Now, if you've got Apple or Google Pay, then just go through this. Very simple. You can use Apple and Google Pay. Now, these third-party providers may change depending on how much that you put in and want to use. So if you want a larger amount, you can't use Apple Pay, but you can use Visa and MasterCard through MoonPay. MoonPay is a fiat on-ramp. It's a separate company. So if you go through and do this, what you'll have to do is sign up for a MoonPay account. and do your KYC with MoonPay. Once they know who you are, you can link your OKX and MoonPay account very easily, pay MoonPay, and they send the crypto directly into your OKX account. So you can go through and verify. You'll have to link up a phone number as well, and then actually separately go and sign up for a MoonPay account. So we won't go through that in this video, but these are the options. So if you want to pay with a card, these are the options. It's fairly straightforward to just sign up for an account, make the payment, link your OKX account details. The other option we have is to use a bank transfer, and so I'll show you how that works. We can go up to the top right and click buy crypto and then express buy right here. So we'll click that. And then what this does is give you the best rate that you can get using OKX. So we're going to buy crypto, and for me, I'll just show you in dirhams because that's where I am. So we can see the exchange rate right here for 500 dirhams is going to switch into 135 USDT. If I click buy USDT, it's going to give me the best rate, which is a bank transfer with what's known as OKX P2P or peer-to-peer. So what we're doing right here is we're using essentially a money broker that is sitting in between us and OKX. OKX are actually an escrow agent in this situation. So when we go through this, we will go through with a bank transfer. We'll get the bank details of the money broker. We send the fiat currency to that money broker. The US dollar tether is held at OKX in an escrow account. Once we prove that we've sent the money, that will be unlocked and that money will, or the crypto will go into our OKX trading account. Bank transfer is the best price and the cheapest option for us. That's how it works on OKX. Now, depending on where you live in the world, you may have different options here. Direct payments, you're going to have to look for yourself, but it's either a card with slightly higher fees or using peer-to-peer where you may get bank transfers and go through that. I know a lot of people might not want to use peer-to-peer because they think it might be a little bit weird, and so card is your option. This also works the opposite way when you want to cash out of OKX. Just go to the sell option and it's going to give you all of those details. So if we go to sell, you have a crypto here that you want to sell. So I'll just choose this and we can see you'll receive a certain amount of fiat currency. Click on this. And then again, you put your details in here where you want that fiat currency sent to, and it's going to give you those options. So depending where you live in the world, you may have to use a card, you may have to use peer-to-peer payments through OKX with them acting as an escrow agent, or in some countries, OKX may have their own bank accounts, and so you can very easily deal with it like that. Now we'll look at depositing some crypto onto OKX. If you have it in a different wallet or a different trading platform, we can deposit that crypto directly onto OKX. So from here, go to your assets, click My Assets. This is it right here. There's an overview of all of the assets that you have here, but you can click on Funding. This is the funding account where some assets will be if you're not trading them. Then the trading account is where you want to put assets if you want to go ahead and actually trade and swap them for a different asset. You'll need them in this account. We also have Grow account, which is more for the Earn platform, and I'll show you that later. We're going to go to Funding, and then here we're going to click Deposit. If you want to deposit a crypto into OKX, you can do that here. Now from here, we can select the crypto that we have. So I'm withdrawing some US dollar tether from a different account. And what we need to do is check which network we can send this crypto on. So if we click Select Network, you can see here that there are different options supported from this exchange. So I'm going to click Solana because that's an 80-cent fee. So what we can do is go back to OKX and make sure that we can actually accept that cryptocurrency on the Solana network. So I'm going to select crypto here and press US dollar tether. I'm going to select the network that I want to receive it on, which is Solana right here. So it's supported. That means I can send on Solana from here and receive on Solana into my OKX. So I'm going to press next. And it says this address is only for USDT. That's fine. So here is my address that it's giving me. So that is my Solana US dollar tether address. So I know now that I can copy this and send US dollar tether on Solana to my OKX. So I'm going to go back to the other exchange, click on Solana, and then enter the withdrawal address right here, which is the one that OKX gave me, and go through with that withdrawal. That's going to withdraw US dollar tether over Solana, and I'm receiving it to the Solana address right here. Trading fees on OKX are very competitive with most of the other platforms. You'll be paying 0.08% as a trading fee, as you can see here. Now, if you buy some of OKX's coin, which I believe is OKB, Under 500, you're going to be paying 0.08% as a trading fee. If you have over 500, you can get a discount to 0.075%. The coin there is an exchange coin. It may go up and down in value, so it may wipe out that trading fee discount that you get. So anyway, if you don't buy the coin, 0.08% is a very low trading fee. And as you can see here, taker fee is 0.1%, which is a little bit higher. Maker, taker have different fees. I'll explain that in the trading section of the video, but fees are very low. You might want to use the convert feature on OKX. It is simple, but it isn't really a professional way to trade. I'll show you this: trade, convert. If you have a crypto, you can switch it into another crypto by clicking one button. So I've got some US dollar tether here, and I want to switch it into Bitcoin. It's going to give me an exchange rate, as you can see here, 28,630 as of right now. And just press convert, and it will instantly convert one crypto into another, just like that. You can also convert stable coins. So if you have one stable coin, you can flip it into another stable coin. DAI, USDC, and USDT, and flip between them. Now, these are all supposed to be valued at $1. As you can see, you are paying a tiny fraction to swap from one stable into another. So 64.69 moves into 64.65. So it's simple and very easy. What I would say here is that the exchange rate is probably not as good as you can get when you trade in the spot market, and so I'll show you that now. The spot market is where you want to trade most of the time. You get the lowest trading fees and the best prices, and you can choose everything yourself. So come to basic trading and then spot. So click this, we go through to the spot market. Now from here, what we want to do is go up to the top right hand corner and just click settings. I would click this on. Click depth to input amount. I'll just click that on. So what that means is that you can click on prices here and it's going to input the price that you trade at. It's just an easy way to do things, and it was turned off for me. Now the layout as well, I've got it on advanced right. You can change this around. Some platforms default to this, which is, you can see the buy and sell right here. All of the boxes are the same, it's just the layout. You have chart, you have areas to input your trades, either on the buy side or sell side. You have areas to look at the price and the trade of the cryptos that you're looking at. And then you have a box to actually find the assets that you want to trade. So I'm going to click back to advanced right. Most people use this layout. And from here, we can go ahead and trade crypto. So what is this? I'll show you an overview. Up in the top left, you have manual trading here. So we're going to click that. And then right here, we have an option to choose the assets that we want to trade. So you can favorite these. So Bitcoin and ETH, I'll just put as favorites. Or you can search for an asset. So I can choose Cardano ADA. I can choose, Solana. And what we have here is all the different trading pairs. So to buy one currency, you have to sell another currency. For here, most people use a stable coin to sell in order to buy the crypto. So we have Solana against USDT, Solana against USDC. And then if you have Bitcoin and you want to swap it directly into Solana, you can use the Solana Bitcoin trading pair or the Solana Ethereum trading pair, and so on. So we're going to just delete that out and just look around to the cryptos that you want to buy, and you can favorite them if you like, and then just choose one by clicking it. And that takes you on to this, which is the chart of that trading pair. So this is Bitcoin against the US dollar, and this is the chart, and we can see it over time, the price that it's trading at, and the exchange rate between them. Up here is just some trading information, which gives you the price that the trading pair was traded at over the last 24 hours and the trading volume. Now here we have what's known as the order book. The order book is just simply all of the orders that are in the system at the moment. So you have buyers and sellers in any market, and they are all showing their orders on the order book right here. We can do that too, and so we're going to do that in a second. Of course, we have buyers which want to buy cheap and sellers which want to sell expensive. And in the middle, when a buyer and a seller actually meets, that is what is known as the mid price, or the actual price that Bitcoin is in the market right now. Because these sellers are too cheap, so they're not bidding enough. These guys are too expensive, and these guys are actually meeting in the middle and trading at 28,579. If we go to last trades, these are all of the actual trades that are happening on OKX on the exchange. So you can see the price that it was traded at, the amount that was traded, and then the timestamp. So that's the order book. Now, what can we do with this order book? Well, we can join these buyers down here with a limit order, And so we can say we want to buy this amount at this price. So we can join these guys down here. Or if we're a seller, we can join these guys up here. Or we can just press an order to do what we want straight away. So that's the difference between maker and taker, like you saw those trading fees. When you are someone that gives a price to the market that is away from the current price, you're known as a maker of liquidity. As an example, I'm a buyer and I want to buy at 27,000. The current price is 28,000. I can't buy, I'm too cheap. But I am making liquidity on the order book. I'm making my order to the book and it's going to stay there for people to take. I'm a maker, I get slightly lower trading fees because exchanges want lots of people to put their orders on the book to give liquidity. If I'm a buyer at 29,000 right now, the price is 28.5. My buy price is way above the current market price. What I'm going to do is take someone else's order because they were there first and I said, yep, I'll take that, no problem. So I'm taking their liquidity out of the book. I'm a taker of liquidity and I pay a slightly higher trading fee. The difference is pretty much irrelevant for most people, but it adds up over a lifetime. The main thing we want to look at is how do we actually go ahead and buy crypto in the market. So you've got some, stable coins here that you've put onto the platform. How do you go ahead and trade? Depending on which country that you live in, you may have fiat currency trading pairs. That is, if you've put euros on or dollars on or some other currency, you may be able to go up here, type BTC, and actually have a fiat currency trading pair. So it might say USD or Euro, buy that trading pair. And you may have just put fiat currency on. If you can do that, swap the fiat currency directly into the crypto. If you don't have that available, like I said, you either buy crypto directly using buy now, or you have this stable coin right here that you can use to switch into the crypto. For me, I've got US dollar tether, so I'm going to choose BTC right here. And how do we go ahead and buy? The first one is market order. You do not choose the price with a market order. You just choose how much you want to buy. So I've got a slider here. Let's say I want to buy an amount of tether. I don't have any US dollar tether in my trading account, so I'm going to press transfer from funding to trading. And I'm going to press max here and then transfer. And that's now in my trading account, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is press 50%. So I'm buying, let's say, $30 worth of Bitcoin right now, and I'm selling USDT. I cannot choose the price. I'm going to be a taker of someone else's liquidity, and I'm going to press buy BTC. That will instantly buy Bitcoin at the prevailing market price, which is this guy right here, 28,587.9. So I'll just buy it straight away, take that, and I've bought Bitcoin in my account. The other way to do things is a limit order. Now this is much better because we choose the amount that we buy and also the price that we pay. A market order is basically like going to a travel agent and saying, what's the rate today, and then getting it, right? Which isn't terrible. You get really low fees on OKX for doing that. But a limit order is just more control. So what we're going to do here is we're going to choose the price. Now, as you can see, we can click on a price a little bit below the mid price right here, 28,579. And we can put that in as a limit order. Now, as you can see, the price moves around quite a lot, right? It moves between 28,586, maybe 28,580, 28,578, something like that. It's always going to move around a little bit in the day. So a tip here is to use a limit order that is a little bit below the current mid price, like this. And you might be able to just save a little bit when you trade rather than paying up for these guys. So we're going to choose an amount of 28,587. How much Bitcoin do you want to buy? Again, it doesn't really matter. You can just choose the dollar amount, as you can see. So I'm going to, press, $30 here, like this, and then we put buy BTC in. Now, what I'm going to do just to show you is put in a low limit order of 27,000. So we're not going to trade because we're way below the mid price, but I want to buy $30 worth. I'm going to put buy BTC. And it's going to confirm that. If you don't want this confirmation page, just click don't show again, press confirm. Now you can see my limit order is down here. We also have it on the chart where my limit order is. So that shows us exactly where our limit order is in comparison to where the actual price is. What do we have here? We can see that my limit order is in place. The order time, I'm a buyer. My order is at 27,000 and I've got none of the trade filled. And it's going to show me, exactly how much the order value is and what I've got filled. how much is left to go, if it's been touched at all, if it's been completed. That's all going to be here. This order is an instruction to the system to buy Bitcoin at 27,000. The current price is 28,000, so I'm not going to buy. But my order is in as a limit order for all of eternity until I cancel it. If the price comes down and meets me at 27, I will now trade at 27. So what I can do here is just leave this in, or I can press cancel, which is just behind my head, press cancel, and then the order is canceled. You've not traded anything. Now, if you put a limit order in here that's 29,000, and you put the exact same amount in, so I'll buy $30 worth, and I press buy, what I'm telling the system is I want to buy $30 of BTC at a price of 29,000 per 1 BTC. So I'm buying 0.001 BTC, right? What's going to happen, it's going to buy straight away, because I'm saying my max price that I want to pay is 29,000 and the current price is 28,500. So it's just going to buy straight away, and it's going to take this one. So in that respect, it's exactly the same as a market order. The limit order only works if you're below the system as a buyer or above the system as a seller. So what I can do is, press an amount of 28,575, something like that, put an amount in, press buy BTC and confirm. Now, my order is really, really close to the current price, as you can see. So it may actually jump around and get me filled today. I get a little bit of a cheaper price if that moves around and actually gets hit. We'll also look at setting up the charting as well if you want to do that. So charts right here. Again, on the right-hand side, you have the price of the currency pair that you're trading. If you go to settings here, you can look at the regular chart. I'd recommend this for trading crypto. If you want to do some analysis on longer term trends, you can go to logarithmic. That makes price rises, the higher they go, more condensed. So what you can do is look at a very, very long-term chart here on a logarithmic chart, and you can see how that works. You can see that if we go to regular, it just changes things a little bit. You can go down here as well and press reset chart, price scale, and that just resets it down here. Now on my computer, if I press right click, above the price, I can enter a limit sell. And down here, if I right click below, I can enter a buy, limit buy right here. Just some auto features. I never use those, but you can do. Now what you might want to do is go to the chart, go to trading view here. Don't use the original, just go to trading view because it's free and it's much better software. Now what we can do is make sure that we're on a candlestick chart. You don't want a line chart. It's no good. It doesn't give you any information. We want candlesticks. If you want to know more about technical analysis and candlesticks, I'll leave the videos on that down in the description. My crypto investor course also has 300 videos that just go through the entire thing step by step in terms of getting set up with crypto, how to use wallets, how to trade, how to do technical analysis. So I'll leave that below as well. But from here, we want to go and change these timescales. So go to edit and then choose the timescales that you want in. I would choose probably 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, 1 week, and then 1 month. And if we can do that, I'll press save. So I've got 1 week and 3 month here. What is that? Well, we're using candlesticks. Each candlestick is a period in time. So right now, what I'm looking at is each candlestick being 1 day in length. So it's giving me price information for that 1 day. Where did the price start? Where did the price go to within the day? And where did it finish? And that creates a candlestick. So we're using a 1 day candlestick here. For more longer term trends, you want to look at 1 week or 1 month or 3 month. So we're going to reset price scale. Now each candlestick is 1 month. And you can see that Bitcoin is very clearly in an uptrend from here on the longer term price scale. So had a downtrend and then we're in an uptrend. So I'll leave it there for now. You can manipulate the chart. If you want more info, either the crypto investor course or some free videos that I'll link down in the description. OKX supports trigger orders, and this is a little bit more advanced. So rather than just using a limit order where you choose the price and the amount that you trade, what you can do is click this and click trigger. Now a trigger order, just going to click this OK. What is a trigger order? Well, a trigger order is an instruction to the system. And your instruction to the system is when a trigger price is met, then enter some sort of order. So when you're using a market order, what you're just saying is buy now. When you're using a limit order, you're saying buy now as long as the price is at or better than my price. With a trigger order, you're saying enter either a market or a limit order only if a certain trigger is met. So what you can do is put in a trigger amount, so 28,000. Now, if the price of Bitcoin, in this instance, because we're trading Bitcoin, reaches 28,000, that is a trigger to then input an actual order that we want to do. So I can use a market order or a limit order at this stage. I'll show market order, and I want to put $30 in, buy BTC. And you may say, well, what's the difference? Why wouldn't I just use a limit order? Because a limit order can do the same thing. Well, it is slightly different. For example, with a trigger order, you can actually buy and enter an order above the current price. So maybe you want to trade a breakout or something like that, where you're saying, I don't want to buy now, but if we break out of a range to the upside, I want to, buy then and ride it up. So what you can do is say at 29,000, I want to enter a market order and I want to buy. So you're actually going to be buying above the current price, right? Now you may say that's dumb. And yes, it may be, right? But it's a way that we can actually enter those trades into the system, because if you enter a limit order at 29,000 and press buy, it's going to actually buy that straight away because the actual price is below that. This is a way to manipulate your orders and say, only enter an order at a specific price. Actually, trigger orders are mostly used when selling for a loss. And so I'll show you that now. What people usually use trigger orders for is a stop loss. You can actually enter this via a trigger order if you want as a sell order, or you can go to TPSL, which is take profit and stop loss. So we'll look at this. So what you can do is enter an order that triggers at a certain price. So what we're going to do is go to the sell side right here. So we have some Bitcoin and we're in an order. So we own Bitcoin. And if the price gets too low and we're making a loss, we can sell at a loss to prevent further losses if the price is coming down. So we're going to go for a conditional order here. What is the trigger price? Let's say I have BTC. The current price is 28,500 and I bought at 28,500. And what I want to say is if the price gets to 25,000, I want to sell my BTC for a loss because that's the biggest loss that I want to take. So what we can do is go to a market order. So the trigger is at 25,000, enter a market order to sell $30 of Bitcoin for me and press sell BTC. The reason why we can't use a limit order here is because our limit is 25. And so a limit order would sell straight away at the higher price. So that would be a limit sell order, whereas this is a stop loss saying if I'm making a loss and the price gets to 25, then enter the market order for me, right? You can also enter a limit order at that price as well. So if you press that, you get a different box here because the trigger order only triggers the actual order that you want to put in. So if you have a trigger price of 25, you can still put a limit order in at 25. So that's the same. Or you can say 30,000. Now, again, that would be pretty dumb because what you're saying is you're waiting for the price to reach 25. And that's the trigger that enters a sell order at 30,000, which is now 5,000 away from the price, right? So that doesn't really work, but it just shows you here, hopefully, that you can enter pretty much anything that you want to do using these order types. So if you need a trigger, if you need a stop loss, you can enter every single piece of information that you want to trade at. I'll also show you a trailing stop order as well. Now you can use this on the buy and sell side, but this is 99% of the time used on the sell side as well. A trailing stop is where you can actually enter a sell order away from the current price. And so I'll show you that. We can go to trailing stop right here. And this is used mostly on the sell side. So let's say I have some Bitcoin and I'm in a profit. I bought at 25 or I bought at 20 and the price is going up, which is great for me, but I'm kind of happy to sell. But if the price keeps going up, then maybe I don't want to sell right now. So how do we do this? We can see variance. What we're doing is we're entering a sell order for our Bitcoin, and we're going to go 10% away from the current price. And we're going to enter an amount of BTC that we want to trade. What we're doing here is saying that we have a sell order 10% below the current price. So we're happy to sell if the price from right here doesn't move up at all, but just goes straight down by 10%, we'll sell 10% below the current price. But a trailing stop moves up with the price, but never down. So I'll show you that on the chart. Let's say we put a trading stop here. We want to sell our Bitcoin with a variance of 10%. What we have now is a line 10% under the price. Let's call it this line here. That's where we're going to sell. So if the price moves directly down here and just goes down, 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 and we're 10% away, we're going to sell at that price. However, if the price of Bitcoin moves up like this, what's going to happen is that our sell order moves up with that price at a variance of 10%. So we're now always 10% away from the price as it moves up. If the price starts moving down again, our variance doesn't move down because we are a trailing stop. We trail the price up, but we stop when the price moves down. If it keeps moving down, our price won't move. Now, if it starts moving up again, then we will trail 10% away from that price all of the time with our sell order. And if it does move down 10%, we don't move and we sell. So what you're doing here is essentially trying to sell the crypto that you have, but you're saying, if it does move up, trail my stop order up. So it moves up with the price, but it sells if that variance is met. In this case, it can be 10% or maybe 5%. And you can use an activation price, for example. You can just activate it immediately by pressing the button, or you can say if the price gets to 30K, then you can activate the selling stop loss. OKX also have some really good trading bots that you can use. I'll show you just a simple one here. If you want more in-depth videos on trading bots and some of the other features on OKX, I'll make specific video guides on them, so you can check the OKX playlist on the channel. But we're going to go to trading bots here. Now, there are many trading bots that you can use for day trading and more speculative stuff. So I'll leave that for the specific video. I'll show you a TWAP bot here. So I'm going to select a bot, go right down to the bottom, and then you should be able to see TWAP. So I'm going to click that, and then it's going to give me this bot here. What is TWAP? It stands for time weighted average price. So I'm sure if you've bought crypto before, you buy crypto at a price and then the price immediately drops down and you're like, oh, I wish I just waited 10 seconds because I could have got a cheaper price. With TWAP, what you're doing is setting up a buy or a sell over a specific time period. So rather than just doing everything at once, you actually say just buy every 20 or 30 minutes throughout the day, and your average price should match the average price of what was traded throughout that day. So very simply, if we go to buy, I'm just going to do a percentage variance here. So 0.5%. So that's the price variance between different orders. We can have a limit price. That is the lower limit or the upper limit for buying, right? So if my limit price is, let's say 28,500, what I'm saying is that's the most I want to pay. And so if the price is above that, stop trading. But as long as the price is at or below that, you can trade this time-weighted average price order. Time interval for splits, recommended 30 seconds, but you can do 90 seconds or 60 seconds, whatever it is, right? So that's up to you. The order amount, the per order, so let's go 0.001 or something like that BTC, and the total amount of the order when you want to stop, so 0.005, something like that, right? As long as you've got the cash available, you can do that. So what you're saying is, this price variance we can enter orders at, or we can enter these orders every 30 seconds, the amount per order, and then the total amount for all of the orders as they stack up. So you can just press buy BTC and it's going to enter those orders for you and try and get a time-weighted average price. So if you're trading larger amounts, might be good. Even smaller amounts, it can work. You can see the minimum per order, I think, as you can see here. So it's going to work it out for you. But that's a way to just get an average price over time. I'll also show you the Earn platform on OKX. Now, depending on which country you're in, you might not have this as well. Some countries don't allow this type, some others do. So I'll just quickly show you. So we can go to Grow and then Earn. So there are different products here. So I want to warn you about some of the risks of these. So as you can see, some of these have very high yields. I would stay away from anything that has a very high yield. It's a more risky product. So you can see that there are things called dual investment, shark fin. This is actually using options and other types of exotic products that I would probably just steer clear of if you're just a normal investor trying to buy stuff. However, there is something called Simple Earn, which we can use. So we can come up to Simple Earn here. So I'll click this. This is simply using assets that you have on the platform And what you're doing is lending them out to other people on the platform. So there are many traders on OKX, many retail traders, many professional traders, institutions as well that use OKX because it's one of the biggest platforms and venues for trading crypto in the world. Some of those more advanced traders will use exotic products like futures and options. And what they have to do is actually borrow money to make those trades. Now, obviously that's containing some risk. However, there should be systems in place that prevent liquidations and bad debts occurring. And so what you're doing is lending out your dollars or your Bitcoin to people that want to trade on margin or in futures and using leverage. They pay an interest rate. That interest rate comes back to you. So if you have dollars here, US dollar tether, you can see there's a flexible way that I can invest and get 10% yield. So if you subscribe, this is actually for like a bonus for a very small amount at $1,000. And then anything above $1,000 goes to 2.5%. Now, there are risks here, right? Your assets are on the OKX platform. Now, for the most part, they are very trustworthy. They don't have any losses or anything like that. So that should be fine. But it's a risk, not your keys, not your crypto, right? So if your crypto's on a platform, you have to trust the platform. The other one is you have to trust that nothing is going to go on with bad debts or anything like that. And again, lending, there just is risk here, right? So is 2.5% enough compensation for that risk? I guess you can choose that, right? For me, probably not, but you can choose if you want. So you can see a flexible term. Now, if you have dollars on the platform anyway that are waiting to be traded, then maybe you think, well, I'll just switch them into this account, get a little bit on there whilst we're waiting anyway. But again, on platform is a risk, so just make sure you're aware of it. Something that's very different from those yield or savings products is staking. Staking is when a blockchain is paying you blockchain rewards. So we can go to on-chain earn. I'll show you an overview here. You're not lending your money out to anyone. You are simply staking on the blockchain and then getting the tokens back from the blockchain rewards. Again, each of these is different. So very high yields is probably not great. It's showing you, where's that yield coming from. But if you've got Ethereum, you can see 3%. So what you can do is press subscribe. And what OKX are doing is acting as a middleman between your Ethereum and then staking it on the blockchain, because otherwise you would have to run your own validator and you're not going to do that. You can use decentralized alternatives as well. But again, if you're a beginner, you might not want to do that. And so they are acting as a middleman where you can put an amount of ETH in and they'll just stake it for you. And you can subscribe, you can unsubscribe, and they're going to be staking it on the blockchain and getting this blockchain reward. Again, if you have one of these other tokens and you want to stake that, you can do that as well. Now down here, this is actually DeFi. Compound is a DeFi application. So what they're doing, again, is acting as a middleman. You have your tether and you're using DeFi through OKX, and they'll put that on the blockchain for you, and you can see 3.42%. So again, just make sure you know exactly what's happening under the surface, because you don't want to be getting into something that you can't get out of or that might go wrong. So again, just buyer beware here and make sure you know the risks. The OKX link is at the top of the description. You can click that to see if the mystery box is available in your region or not. I'm James, it's MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.